Good evening, everybody. How are y'all? So the Oklahoma City Thunder are falling apart. They just traded Paul George to the Los Angeles Clippers for like 20,000 draft picks, and just dealt Russell Westbrook to the Oklahoma City to the Rockets for Chris Paul and draft picks. And so the Thunder are falling apart. They're probably going to suck for the next couple of years, and they're now in a rebuild. And now, and as a Grizzlies fan, I kind of take joy in this. Um, I don't like the Thunder. I just dislike them as a Grizzlies fan. They have a teensy weensy rivalry, as and partly due to the epic playoff series they had in the early 2010s. So there's a lot of animosity between the Thunder and the Grizzlies. So as a Grizzlies fan, I don't really care for the Thunder, and they fucked over the city of Seattle, so no sympathy for you, Thunder. So a lot of people are wondering, how did the Thunder draft three straight top five picks, three straight MVPs, using Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden? How did they draft all those three, and how have they not gotten to have a ticker tape parade down the streets of Oklahoma City? And I have the answer for you. The answer for why the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have had an abundance of talent throughout the course of time, ever since they fucked over the city of Seattle and relocated to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, have yet to have a championship parade, have zero Larry O'Brien trophies in their trophy case, and have yet to win a championship, have only been to one NBA Finals, is Russell Westbrook. Yes, Russell Westbrook. Now, first off, a lot of people put the blame on Sam Presti for trading James Harden. That is such revisionist history. You have to understand that this was in 2012. The Thunder knew that they were probably going to have to get rid of either Serge Ibaka or James Harden. Now, I understand this is not the NBA now that Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors have ruined. Soft, jump shooting, scoring, where shooting is important. Alright? No. This was a time when the NBA was the way it should be. Tough, hard-nosed, defense, size matter. When the NBA was the way it would. The way it should be. Plus, Harden was not a starter. He was their sixth man, a.k.a. that's why he was sixth man of the year. And Ibaka was their starting center, and centers mattered at the time. Centers were important in the NBA back in 2012. They were important up until Steph Curry and the Warriors ruined the NBA. So centers mattered, and you're going to, at the time, take a center like Serge Ibaka over a guard like James Harden, a scoring finesse guard who's not even a starter. Not to mention the fact, this was when, the Los Angeles Lakers had Shaq and, not Shaq, I don't know what I was thinking, Dwight Howard and Pau Gasol, so two 7-foot centers. So you need a center to go along with what was appearing to be a juggernaut in the Los Angeles Lakers, with obviously with two 7-foot monsters. Well, Dwight Howard's not 7 foot, but you know what I mean. With two 6, yeah, All right, so that's how. So the NBA was different then, and the NBA, SB Nation said, they did not know that the NBA was gonna. Well, ultimately lost a big reason they lost Kevin Durant. They did not know that the salary cap was gonna have a spike. So really, you look at it now, you can see, looking at it, if you take everything into context and look at how the league was back in 2012, at the time the trade was made, you kind of can see why the Thunder did it. So that's not anyway, and I don't know if they won any championships had they kept James Harden. And finally, remember, the next year they won 60 games. They won the most games in the West, and I'm a Grizzlies fan, but they probably, if Westbrook doesn't get hurt, they might have gone back to the NBA Finals against Miami. Will they have won? Who knows? But, they might not have beaten Miami, but who knows, And they could have won in 15-16 had they not choked against the Warriors. The point is, I just had to get that just, and the reason is Westbrook. The guy is a selfish ball hog. You think of flaw at people say, well, Kyrie Irving's ball dominant and can be a little selfish and a bit of a me guy and a little ball dominant. There's some truth to that, but Westbrook's that on steroids. Same thing. You could say, well, Kobe was a little selfish, wouldn't struggle to pass, a little ball dominant. Yeah, but Kobe also was that way, because he needed to win, and unlike Westbrook, who prioritizes personal achievements over team achievements, and Westbrook is Kobe on steroids. He's basically a slightly better version of Carmelo Anthony. He's a poor man's James Harden. James Harden's a great player, and Westbrook's a very good player. But the guy, he constantly hogs the ball, and he's out of control. He constantly implodes in big moments. The guy, you look at it in the playoffs against Utah, after they lose, he gets into confrontation with fans. He's always yelling at fans, yelling at reporters. He comes unglued when in crisis situation, and he plays the wrong position. You cannot have your point guard be like that, because as Colin Cowherd has always said, point guard is a judgment position. Quarterbacks in football, point guards in basketball, goaltenders in hockey, especially catchers in baseball, but pretty much every position in baseball. Judgment positions, IQ positions, where you have to be buttoned up. You look at all the great quarterbacks in NFL history: Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Dan Marino, John Elway, if I didn't mention him. Roger Staubach, Russell Wilson, Phillip Rivers. They're buttoned up. They can put out the fire. They've got it buttoned up. One of the only great quarterbacks in NFL history's been not buttoned up was Brett Favre, and he would have been even greater had he been more mature and had he been more disciplined. Remember, that's how he got out of Atlanta. It's like you see that with point. Like, what separates Russell Wilson and Cam Newton? Maturity and discipline and mental stability. Cam's more talented than Russ, but Russ has been the superior football player because of that. You look at point guards, great point guards. Now, Steph Curry drives me crazy with his antics, but stable, maturity is mature and is emotionally stable for the most part, and is a grown-up. Chris Paul, Ben Simmons, Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry. Big reason the Raptors won the championship. Kyle Lowry, emotionally stable. You look at point guards like John Wall and Russell Westbrook. Why have they underachieved in their careers? They just aren't mature enough. Colin Cowherd got a lot of grief when he ripped apart John Wall for doing the Dougie before his first NBA game, but I think Colin's been proven right. So, you look at it, that's how point guards. John Stockton was a grown-up. That's why he was great. Magic Johnson, grown-up. You see all the great point guards. You see goalies in hockey. You see Jordan Bennington, goalie of the St. Louis Blues, who just won the Stanley Cup. Jordan Bennington is a grown-up. Jonathan Quick, grown-up. Corey Crawford, grown-up. Marc-Andre Fleury, grown-up. Matt Murray, grown-up. Tim Thomas, Tuukka Rask, grown-ups. You need a grown-up when it comes to a goaltender on a hockey team, a quarterback of a football team, and a point guard on a basketball team. Baseball is a mental sport. It's not a physical sport, it's a mental sport. 95% of the game is mental. It's a mental sport. It's one-on-one. You need mature adults. Look at all the great baseball players. Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, Mike Trout, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Christian Yelich, Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw, Madison Bumgarner, all grown-ups. They are grown-ups. Adults, Anthony Rizzo, Freddie Freeman, Ronald Acuna Jr., like Yasiel Puig has superstar potential, and he's been a marginal MLB player because he's an idiot. Always starting fights with the Pittsburgh Pirates, always causing drama, all sorts of garbage with Puig. And the dude's made one All-Star team in his career. You see, when it comes to being a baseball player, especially catcher, you see great catchers: Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Johnny Bench, Salvador Perez. You know, you know, what's his name? The guy who played for both Sox teams, hit the home run in the '75 World Series. His name's missing me right now. You see adults, and that's with a lot of players in baseball. The star players in baseball, they're grown-ups. Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Michael Brantley, Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Aaron Judge, Evan Longoria when he was a stud, Mookie Betts, Brock Holt. Well, he's not a great player, but he's an adult anyways. But anyway, Austin Meadows, or Juan Soto. You see grown-ups standing, with baseball stars. Very rare. You seldom see a great baseball player who's a knucklehead. And you've seen players like Yasiel Puig who have not been anywhere near as good as they should be because they're not mature. And all the great quarterbacks, Drew Brees is one of the 5 best quarterbacks in NFL history. Actually, I have him like 6th all time. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen. Not one of the greatest talents we've ever seen. One of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen because he's a grown-up. Same thing, Brady, Wilson, Rodgers, Manning. I mean, it goes on. And it's that way with goaltenders. Marty Brodeur was a grown-up. Patrick Waugh, grown-up. Ryan Miller, grown-up. Dominic Hasek, I'm sure, was a grown-up. Roberto Luongo, grown-up. You see, Tuukka Rask is a grown-up. That's what you need at certain positions. And it's that way with point guard. You see, Ben Simmons is a grown-up. You don't get any garbage with him. Or, Chris Paul, grown-up, adult. John Stockton was an adult. Magic Johnson, Steph Curry can be annoying, but he's a grown-up. You see, and Westbrook, he's just not mature enough and doesn't have enough discipline. He constantly unravels. He had such a pass from the media, but it's because of that is why the Thunder, and it's why they had some flameouts in the playoffs, and it's why, ultimately, it's a big reason why they lost that finals to Golden State. And that's why Kevin Durant, he got tired of it, and that's why he left. Kevin Durant left because he knew he was never going to win a title with Westbrook. He knew it, and he has been validated by the fact that Westbrook's flamed out. Westbrook has been given no player, no point guard in NBA history has underachieved more than Russell Westbrook. The guy, you look at Chris, he's played with Durant, George, Melo, and it's like you see it constantly. You see Domantas Sabonis, Victor Oladipo, they leave Westbrook, better players. So the Thunder habitually underachieve. All 3 years since KD's left, the team that beat him in the first round, they had more talent than him. When you look at it, they have more talent than Houston. Houston was mainly Harden and a bunch of good players. They certainly should have beaten Utah, and Portland didn't have a Nurkic. So, yeah. So Westbrook, he just doesn't have the emotional stability, and he's a turnover machine. He's undisciplined, and he constantly unravels. And that is a big reason why the Thunder have never won a title. And that is the biggest reason that Kevin Durant left. And you cannot deny it. So I put the blame on Westbrook. The guy has choked repeatedly. I put the blame on Westbrook for why the Thunder have not won a title. And by the way, you want to know how will his relationship with Harden work in Houston? I doubt it will work. You got 2 selfish ball hawks, 2 ball-dominant players together. Like, Harden struggled to work with Chris Paul, who might dominate the ball, be a little difficult, but the dude wants to win. He does not care at all about triple-doubles. He does not care at all about stats. Chris Paul's only priority on the basketball court is to win. Westbrook does not. So you're now going to have 2 guys who prioritize statistics. And by the way, Harden, Giannis deserves the MVP. I just had to say that. But anyway, I just don't see how it works. I just don't. You have two ball dominant guards, two selfish players who seem to prioritize stats over winning, two me guys over team guys over we guys, two me guys, not we guys. So I just don't see it working. I just don't. I'll be shocked if it does. The only way it works is if Westbrook was humbled. So that's my thought. So I blame Westbrook for the Thunder never winning a title, and I don't think the Rockets thing is going to work. So thank you very much. I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed if you haven't already. So thank you very much.